What a way to start. We are going to commence with the 54th running of the Victorian Open 400-metre Hurdle Championship. Rowan Robinson from Glen Huntly has the most number of wins on 9. He also has the championship record of 49.01 set in 1996. Champion from 2023 was Angus McKinlay from Eaglehawk with a time of 54.92. And our field is in lane 2, representing Preston. He's got a PB of 62.74, Joe Liu. In lane 3, we welcome from Tasmania. His PB is 55.94. It is Jaden Crawford. In 4, from Queensland with a PB of 53.29, Blake Dobay. In lane 5, he's a world under-20 rep. He's got a best of 51.58, representing Geelong Guild, Harvey Barant. In lane 6, the Australian under-20 champion from last year in this event with a best of 52.02 from Old Melburnians, Hugo Hannock. In lane 7, with a best of 53.59, representing Keilor St Bernard's, Riley Keynes. And lane 8, the Victorian under-18 champ with a best of 54.33 over the 84-centimetre height, it is Max Franklin. They are your 7 starters in the final of the men's open 400-metre hurdles.
Try again, Brian. Try again, please. It's plugged in properly.
So just a slight delay as we try to work out a few technical issues with the start team. We will be getting underway with this final of the men's open 400-metre hurdles shortly.
Test 1, 2.
Testing.
All right, we're going to try again. We're very sorry about this.
So hopefully we're over our issues on the start area at the moment. So Joe Liu in 2, Jaden Crawford, Tasmania in 3, Dobay from Queensland in 4, Harvey Morant, Geelong Guild in 5, Hugo Hannock, Old Melbourne in 6, Riley Keynes from Keelos and Burners at 7, and Max Franklin from Geelong Guild in lane 8. So away cleanly now in the open final of the 400 metre hurdles. And we're seeing Morant and Hannock to the outside going stride for stride at the moment. If anything, Morant's just got a slight gap already, and Riley Keynes going nicely for Keelos and Bernards out in lane 7. So the top 3 at the moment, it is Hannock, Morant, also Keynes. Dobay from Queensland trying to come into the picture as they round the top bend. But now we're seeing Morant just edging forward. Hannock also now starting to take the stagger out of Keynes, and Hannock leads into the final straight here. So Hannock leading from Morant. They're side by side as they're going over the barrier, but Hannock looking strong into the home straight now. A little bit of headwind they're contending with. Hugo Hannock from Old Melbourne is looking strong. One more barrier between him and that championship. Keynes coming home strong. Morant trying hard, but Hugo Hannock takes the Open Championship. 52.70 something through the sun glare, but Hugo Hannock, Old Melbournians, the new Victorian champion. Morant will settle for the silver. Riley Keynes from Keelos and Bernards in the bronze medal position. Great running there. Hugo Hannock taking out the open 400 metre hurdles.
Test 1, 2.
So just a reminder, all results will be coming through on AV Results Hub. Live stream will be going throughout the course of the weekend once again for the South Melbourne Physio Victorian Track and Field Championships. So please, if you're not at the venue, tune into the live stream to cover all the action here throughout the course of the next 3 days. So presentations for all championships will take place shortly after the conclusion of the event, and that will be, as you can see, on the infield. So if we could have our top 3 place getters from that event to make their way through to presentations, that would be appreciated. So just confirming results from that previous event, the male or men's open 400 metre hurdle final. Hugo Hannock, Old Melbourne, is taking out 52.77. 53.24 for Harvey Morant in second place, and in the bronze medal position from Keelis and Bernards in a time of 53.42, it was Riley Keynes. Next up, as you can see, we're going to go to the first of two preliminary heats of the women's open 400 metre hurdles. So I'll introduce the field now. Heat 1 of 2 women's open 400 metre heats. 400 metre hurdle heats. And in lane 3, representing Eaglehawk, we have Juliet Healia. In 4, representing Ringwood, Nicole Reynolds. In lane 5, from Williamstown, Daniela Roman. In lane 6, from Frankston, Paige Elvey. And in lane 7, representing Athletics Nunawading, Lara Richards. They're your 5 starters, Heat 1 of 2 of the women's open 400 metre hurdles.
Most of the majority are here.
And just another polite reminder for a few of our clubs to check in with their club helpers. We still require one each from Ballerine, Doncaster and Geelong Guild, and 3 club helpers from the Glen Huntly and Melbourne University Athletic Clubs. So Ballerine, Doncaster, Geelong Guild, 1 each, and 3 from Glen Huntly, Melbourne Uni, and that will hopefully fill up our events as we see the girls now lining up once again for Heat 1 of 2, the women's open 400 metre hurdles. Halia in 3, Reynolds in lane 4, Daniela Roman in 5, Elvey in 6, and Richards in lane 7. So as we wait for the final hurdle check here for the women's height, we will go to our presentation for the former event, which is our men's open 400 metre hurdle championship, and receiving the bronze medal with a time of 53.42, representing Keelis and Bernards, Riley Keynes. In the silver medal position in a time of 53.24, representing Geelong Guild, Harvey Morant. And your gold medalist and new Victorian champion in of time of 52.77, representing Old Melburnians, Hugo Hannock. Congratulations to Riley, Harvey, Hugo, and all of the competitors in a very high quality men's open 400 metre hurdles championship. So back down trackside. Looks like we're just about ready to go for the first of our 2 preliminary heats of the women's open 400 metre hurdles.
On your mark.
So Reynolds, the defending champion, takes off. She's in 5, sandwiched by the training partners in Reynolds and Elvie, who've both been running good times recently, but it's already Roman taking the stagger. Reynolds running nicely there in lane 4. And Roman going nicely down the back straight. She's got Elvie next to her, so Elvie's now getting the tow along with Daniela Roman as they go down and head towards the 200 metre mark. But Daniela Roman, first one through that mark and up by probably about 5 to 6 metres over Reynolds and Elvie, who are close as they come around the top bend. If anything, I think maybe Elvie just starting to move ahead there, but Roman over the barrier first into the home straight. Elvie in second position at the moment as they round into barrier number 8. So 2 to go now for Roman, clearly ahead by about 10 metres in this heat. So that's the top 3 in the heats, plus the next 2 best times will proceed through to the final. And this 1, 2, 3 will be safely through. On the outside, Richards will be waiting on times, but it will be Roman taking it out around 59 seconds there. Elvie through for second position. Reynolds will get the auto qualifier as well. Richards and also Leah will have to wait on times as Richards comes through. And one more barrier there for Juliet Hilia from Eagle Hawk. And she will be safely through and over the barriers to complete her 400 metre hurdles and round out the field in the first of our 2 preliminary heats. Let's introduce the field now. Heat 2 of 2, the women's open 400 metre hurdles. We have 4 starters in lane 4, representing Sandringham, Kundali Powell. Lane 5 from Glen Huntly, it's Ashley Palmer. Lane 6, representing Old Melburnians, Sienna Farrell. And in lane 7 from Wendouree, Mari Campbell. They're your 4 starters in heat 2 of 2, women's open 400 metre hurdles.
On your mark. set.
So away nicely here, approaching the first barrier. Palmer probably already in the lead. First one over there, Palmer, and then Farrell just to the outside of her on the inside there. Powell moving nicely, but it is Ashley Palmer from Glen Huntly going down the back straight. She's up by about 5 metres over Farrell. Farrell now starting to hit her stride though in the back straight, approaching the 200 metre mark. So Powell in next position, Campbell to the outside next. Top 3 to go through automatically. Field of 9 through the heat, so only one to drop out. So Ashley Palmer just doing it as she likes, coming around to approach barrier number 8. So safely over into the home straight now. Ashley Palmer, so the Glen Huntly runner will lead this one over 9. Farrell still going along quite nicely. Powell in next position, Campbell to the outside then, and Palmer's over barrier 10 and heading towards the finish line. So just ticking over the 60-second mark now. So Palmer will take the heat quite comfortably from Farrell. Powell will come through for the third and the automatic position, and Campbell will have to wait on times. So a reminder, just do a refresh on the AV Results Hub, and we will have those progressions through to the final of the Women's Open 400 metre hurdles. So we now move to the 200 metre hurdle competition. So hurdles just being lowered and changing position. We're just changing position.
Yep.
Next event on the track will be the first of 2 preliminary heats of the men's under 16 200 metre hurdles. Just another reminder too that South Melbourne Physio will be here throughout the course of the championships this weekend. They're located on the top deck of the main grandstand. They will be doing pre and post competition massage or treatments if you require that, and also everyone who does pop in and pays a visit to South Melbourne Physio will go into the draw for running assessment. So fantastic new sponsor of the Victorian Open Track and Field Championships. It's great to have South Melbourne Physio once again on board this weekend for another big weekend of activity at Lakeside Stadium. On the track now, we have our next hurdle event, which is the first of two preliminary heats of the men's under 16 200 metre hurdles. We have 5 starters in heat number 1. In lane 3, representing Geelong Guild, Sam Fuller. Lane 4 from Keelos and Bernards, Lucas Tran. In 5 from Geelong Guild, Evan Bainbridge. And lane 6 from Box Hill, Luke Duval. And in lane 7, representing Frankston, it is Jet Tripp.
On your marks.
So cleanly away. Top 3 will go through the next 2 fastest times, and already Bainbridge from Geelong Guild's getting out to a really good start there. Tran to the inside of him, moving nicely, and also the Box Hill runner there, Duval. So with a 26.33, Evan Bainbridge is just streeting away into this home straight now. A few more barriers to go, but Bainbridge are looking the goods as he comes through. Top 3 automatically through, as we said. So Lucas Tran from Keelos and Bernards will take one of those spots. Also Luke Duval. One more barrier to go. Bainbridge taking out 26.40 something thereabouts. So close to PB there. So on the outside there, Tripp from Frankston just ahead of Sam Fuller to take position 4 and 5. So top 3 will go through automatically. And we'll wait for the running of Heat 2 to determine those that will proceed to the top 8 and the final of the men's under 16 200 metre hurdles.
Behind your blocks, please, gentlemen.
Heat 2 of 2, men's under 16 200 metre hurdles, and we have 5 starters. In lane 3, we're representing Geelong Guild, Max Calicore. In lane 4 from Keelos and Bernards, Andre Skepis. In 5 from Glen Huntley, Matthew Milius. Lane 6 from Athletics Nutter Wadding, Max Wright. And in lane 7 from Box Hill, Chalian Kamfasamy.
On your marks.
So Milius already taking the stagger to the outer lanes there. Matthew Milius, he's got a best in the 26s. So does Bainbridge. This is going to be a compelling final. We're just going to get Milius over these barriers. Into the home straight he comes. So Matthew Milius leading to the outside there. It's Max Wright from Nutter Wadding in next position. Nice battle there for the automatic qualifiers. We've got Shepis from Keelos and Bernards currently in that position, but Kamfasamy from Box Hill now getting away. So 24.96. Oh, he's clapping himself there. Kamfasamy will take the auto qualifier, and then Shepis and Calicore very close there, but Matthew Milius, I think, stamping is minus 2.1 too, so great performance there. Matthew Milius in that heat. This is going to be a very, very good final between him and Bainbridge. So 24.93, the official winning time there for Matthew Millius. Sits 2 tenths off the Victorian state record, 24.73. Dan Martin from Essendon held that, took that in 2005. So Matthew Millius, very, very close to the state record for the under 16 200 metre hurdles. We now go to our next final, and it is for the women's under 15 200 metre hurdles. We have 8 starters. In lane 1, representing Glen Huntly, Emma Wilson. In lane 2, from Keilor St Bernard's, Emma White. In lane 3, representing Geelong Guild, Indiana O'Neill. In 4, from Box Hill, Kira Calavoda. In lane 5, from Geelong Guild, Lucy Van Vliet. In 6, from Athletics Essendon, Sienna Geck. In lane 7, representing Geelong Guild, Jemima Hood. And in lane 8, from Mentone, Lucy Malcolmson. 8 starters in the final of the women's under 15 200 metre hurdles.
On your marks. Set.
So Hood already away well. Van Vliet, also the Geelong Guild teammate, going nicely as they go over the next barrier. But Hood already out there beautifully. She's got a best of 29 seconds. Can we see, like Millius, a big performance here from Jemima Hood as she comes into the home straight. So it is Hood to the inside lane. Now Wilson starting to come through, but it is a 1-2 at the moment for Geelong Guild. So Hood, one more barrier to go, and she pushes over. Van Vliet still in second position. Hood stops the clock. 29 seconds, very close there. Van Vliet definitely in the second position, but we'll wait on photo because of a very fast finish there from Sienna Geck with Emma Wilson on the inside, but we'll wait on the photo for that one. But definitely the winner there, Jemima Hood, Geelong Guild taking it out. So 29.31, the official winning time there for Jemima Hood from Geelong Guild, taking out the under 15 women's 200 metre hurdles. So as you can see, the hurdles all coming off the track now. Next event on the track will be our 800 metre program, which will take us through to the conclusion of the track programming for day 1, weekend number 2. The South Melbourne Physio Victorian Track and Field Championships. So let's go back to the infield. We've got our next presentation. It is for the Under-20 Women's Triple Jump Championship of Victoria. Receiving the bronze medal with the best distance of 11.41 metres, representing Athletics Essendon, it is Tesia Haggai. With the best clearance of 11.74 metres and representing the Wendouree Athletic Club, receiving the silver medal, it is Bridie Shanahan. And our Victorian champion, the gold medalist with the best distance of 12.21 metres, representing Box Hill, Sophie Zarafa. Congratulations to Tesia, Bridie and Sophie and all competitors in the Women's Under-20 Triple Jump Championship. So behind the dais now we have the presentations for the men's Under-17 javelin throw. And in the third position and receiving the bronze medal of the best distance of 43.17 metres, representing Glen Huntley, Cooper Acklom. Our silver medalist with the best of 46.12 metres, representing Athletics Nunawading, Jake Frost. Now, Victorian champion, gold medalist with best of 51.85 metres, representing Sandringham, Jake LaHood. Congratulations to Cooper, Jake and Jake, our medalists in the men's Under-17 javelin throw. And moving to our next age group in the javelin throw, it is the men's Under-18 Championship of Victoria. Getting out to a best of 43.00 metres, and from the Whittlesea City Athletic Club, our bronze medalist is Harrison Hegarty. Receiving the silver medal with a best of 47.20 metres, representing Glen Huntley, Fraser Mattinson. Gold medalist, the Victorian champion with a best of 47.74 metres, representing Wendouree, Jace Murray. Fantastic throwing there from Harrison, Fraser and Jace, our medalist in the men's under 18 javelin throw. Can we have Sienna Geck through to presentations, please? Sienna Geck to presentations. And back to the presentations, we have our medalists for the women's under 15 200 metre hurdles, and receiving the bronze medal, representing the Athletics Essendon in a time of 31.77 seconds. It is Sienna Geck. In second position and receiving the silver medal in a time of 30.79 seconds from Geelong Guild, Lucy Van Vliet. The Victorian champion, the gold medalist, in a time of 29.31 seconds. Also from Geelong Guild, it is Jemima Hood. So great performance once again from Jemima, and well done to all competitors in the final of the women's under 15 200 metre hurdles. So 7 p.m, the scheduled start of the 800 metre program, so slight break in the track. There will be more events taking to the field shortly. And don't forget to keep checking on AV Results Hub. And if you're in a little bit of a post-event position at the moment, maybe go and check out what South Melbourne Physio have got to offer up on the top deck, in a little bit of a rub down. Or even pre-event, go and visit them if you've got any aches and pains or little niggles. Go and see our friends from South Melbourne Physio on the top deck of the main grandstand. Great sponsors, proud sponsors of the Victorian Track and Field Championships for 2024. As we can see, our next event starting to line up for the start of the 800 metre program. Just a little bit of an update from Canberra, though. It looks like Jack Coomer from Queensland's taken out the junior trial race for the World Cross Country Championship. I'll try and keep you updated with other results coming through from Stromlo throughout the course of the evening. But let's go to the action right here at Lakeside Stadium, and it is the combined under 17, under 20 and open, ambulant and para 800 metres. In the under 17 competition, we have from Mornington Peninsula, Alice Huddy. In the under 20s, we have two starters, Lexi Guinea from Old Zavarians and Amelie Lagou, also from Old Zavarians. And in the open ambulant competition, we have in Station 4 from Old Zavarians, Annabelle Coleman, Kirsty Newcomb from Ballarat Harriers in 5, Clara Campillos from Old Zavarians in 6, and Georgia Pounding from Old Zavarians in Station 7. They're your starters in the combined under 17, under 20 and open ambulant 800 metres. So probably expect Annabelle Coleman, who went to the World Championships, to take the lead in this event. Pounding will probably go close to following in the early stages, and Campillos, as they start to settle, probably in next position. Guinea also moving along nicely. She's got Huddy just in front of her as they settle, and Pounding's serving it up to training partner there in Coleman early on in this 800 metres, and they are going for it as they approach the 200 metre mark. So Coleman, Pounding, Campillos, then Huddy, Guinea, Lagou and Newcomb as they start to settle into the 800 metre journey. So a reminder, results will be decided not just on finish time, but it will be based on the percentage of each of the individual classification groups. As we see Coleman now just starting to stride away a little bit from Georgia. So had a fantastic season. She's been competing very well in the 8s and 1500s and really mixing it in the open-ended fields at Milers Club. But also Pounding's just looking fantastic as she goes through at 400 metres to go. Campillos in next position. Then Lexi Guinea. Huddy going well. Lagou next. Newcomb in touch there, but round the bend, 300 to go. And Annabelle Coleman down the back straight second time. As I said, Pounding still looking really good and holding great form out there. A lot of these athletes doing multi-events. You also see them on the triathlon circuit as well. And Annabelle Coleman showing us just how good she is and why she's a World Championship representative for Australia. She comes around the final bend, past the water jump the last time, and Coleman definitely not slowing down as she comes into the home straight. It's just on 2 minutes now, so we're going to see a mid-220s here, I'd say, from Annabelle Coleman as she just puts the head down and really starts to straighten up and go for a time here in the 800 open ambulant event. Very good run, though, from Georgia Pounding. She's maintained good form all the way through, and we're seeing Annabelle crossing the line in the sun glare. I reckon that's about a 222. Pounding coming through. She should be just under that 230 mark, I'd say. And Campillos will be next one through. So Clara Campillos from Old Zavarians, also in the open ambulant competition. As Lexi Guinea, the first of our under-20s. Big run here from Newcomb. She's sat at the back early and she's having a very strong finish. Often goes out quite fast, but this time looks like she's had a change of tactic here. And that's really paying off here for Kirsty Newcomb as she's having a very, very good time. Haven't got the clock on it, but I know 3 minutes would be a great target for her. So Newcomb across the line. Lagou will be in next. Lexi Guinea already through. And in the under-17 competition, Alice Huddy from Mornington Peninsula. She will complete the field there in our combined ambulant event, under-17, under-20 and open. So meanwhile, in the field, we will have the next javelin competition. Looks like they might be underway at the moment. No, they're doing their practice throws, and it is the women's under-20s. And we have Bianca Eiting-Brown from Whittlesea City, Shaylee Ginger Ryan from Albury, Sophie Wilcock from Sandringham, Tara Smith, Diamond Valley, Jade DeVries from Ringwood, Eliza Hines from Box Hill, Georgia Hill, Bendigo Harriers, and also Sophie Zarafa, who we saw in action earlier. She will be rounding out the field there in the women's under-20 javelin throw, about to commence. Our 800s, just another update from Stromlo, and Jack Coomer did take out the junior men's 25-17, so he's the Queenslander. It's the Queenslander in second as well, Charlie Moore, 25-21, 25-24 for Kai Hare from WA. Then another Queenslander, Heffernan in 25-26, very close racing here. Fifth position went to Seth Marnie from Queensland, 25-34, and in sixth position, which may get a spot, potentially, was our first Victorian, Logan Tickle, 25-36. And then Malgan Wagner, the Melbourne University runner, in seventh position. So we'll be keeping our fingers crossed there for Logan Tickle. He's coming in sixth position in the junior men's competition. Yeah, who knows? Yes. I've no idea how they're going to do it. In the women juniors in the Stromlo event, Gabrielle Schmidt from Queensland's taken it out, so a double there for the Queenslanders, 21-25. Charlie Rose Carlian from WA in second. Emma De Jong from Victoria, 21-45 in third position, so might be bound for Belgrade there. Sienna Bush, Queensland in fourth in 21-53. In fifth, Greta Johnson from Queensland, 22-12. And 22-15, Alexandra Schultz from Williamstown in sixth position. Certainly will. So we now go to our next 800-metre event, and once again, it's a combined ambulant race. In the men's open, we have two starters from Old Zaverians, Carlo Manalitsis in Station 1. Dylan Vidana-Pafarana from Diamond Valley is in 2. In the under-15 competition, we have from Athletics Essendon, Jilly Lumby in Station 3. Thomas McGough from Mornington's in 4. Lucas Crowley from Case Cardinia in Station 5. In the under-17 competition, Laurie Todd from Old Zaverians is in 6. In 7, from Yarra Rangers, Bradley McMeekin. And in the under-20s, we have William Short from Glen Huntly. Also Jordan Rudd, Diamond Valley. Leopold Reeves, Sandringham. Kai Davenport from Mornington Peninsula. And Angus Murray from Glen Huntly. They're your 12 starters in the combined open, under-15, under-17 and under-20 ambulant 800 metres.
On your mark. Stand up, please, stand up. On your mark.
So expect Short to get out there early, but Todd's going with him nice and early. Quite a big bunch, actually, as they start to settle down. Manalitsis on the inside also. I think that might be the Diamond Valley runner. He's on the rails. Jordan Rudd's just settling down in front of him. That's Vidana Pafarana. But gee, big crowd, big bunch crowd, actually. And William Short setting the pace. He's been setting Victorian records over these distances this year, William Short from Glen Huntly. And he certainly is getting out to a good lead here, good start and taking the crowd with him. I think that is Reeve from Sandringham, also been running very well over the 8s and 15s this season. So this is a high quality event. Todd and Davenport in next position, then Rudd, Manalitsis. Next one through there is McGough. Then Vidana Pafarana. A little bit of a break then to our next Glen Huntly runner. That's Angus Murray. Brad McMeekin, also Gilly Lumby. And from Casey Cardinia, we've got Lucas Crowley. But out front, the race is on. So Short and Reeve are absolutely going for it. Bit of a gap then to Todd and also Davenport. Then Rudd, Manalitsis. So 4 groups of 2 as they're going down the back straight at the moment. As we see Vidana Pafarana just coming alongside the Peninsula runner there. And that is McGough, but into the home straight. And it looks like we have got a little bit of a winning break. So William Short, they're in the same age group. I'm not too certain about the classifications, but Short and Reeve, it is on here. And look at the time too, so it's just ticking over to 2:10 now, so some sensational running here from all of our competitors. 2:11.70 unofficial for Short. Reeve in next position, Davenport just holding off Todd. Manalitsis in next position, good running once again there from Jordan Rudd. And now we're seeing McGough just getting ahead of Vidana Pafarana. And he'll take the next position there. Pafarana just stopping his clock as he comes across the line. So Angus Murray, next one through in the under-20 comp. And then we're having a nice little battle, McMeekin and Lumby. I think Gilly Lumby is just getting a little bit of a head of steam around the top bend as they go past the water jump. And Gilly Lumby wearing the Essendon Little Athletics uniform here. A member of Athletics Essendon. He's coming through now. And Brad McMeekin from Yarra Rangers. And Lucas Crowley, he's in the under-15s, the same age group as Lumby. McMeekin coming through, and he's an under-17. And fantastic performances here over 800 metres from all of our competitors in our combined ambulant event. And lots of good camaraderie at the finish line, as you can see. William Short, also Leopold Reeve there to congratulate each runner as they come across the line. So fantastic racing once again in our combined ambulant 800 metres. copy that. Results up on Results Hub. Copy that. I'll just call this 800. Sorry, copy that. I'll call this 800 and then throw down. Let's proceed to the next event on the track, which is the first of two preliminary heats of the women's under 15 800 metres. In Station 1, representing Glen Huntly, Surapija Sujendran. In 2 from Eagle Hawk, Talia Blight. In Station 3 from Box Hill, Michaela Ward. 4 from Diamond Valley, it is Ollie Oldfield. Ava Plant from Box Hill is in Station 5. Matilda Johnson, Diamond Valley in 6. Isabel Rhodes, Collingwood in 7. Aria Violini, Ballarat YCW in 8. And Freya Miven from South Melbourne in 9. Top 3 from each heat, plus the 2 next best times will proceed through to the final. So from the inside there, Sujendran running off nicely. Watch out for Oldfield and also a teammate Johnson from Diamond Valley. And it could well be the Eagle Hawk runner there. I think Talia Blight might be setting the pace early. And from the outside, potentially that's Ava Plant. Sorry, that could be Violini, I believe, from the Ballarat YCW club leading the way. So Aria Violini through the 200, about 32 seconds, so a fairly rapid start as they start to settle. So a nice long line. You can see Oldfield sitting midfield at the moment, just starting to move through. A little gap then to Sujendran. So apologies, that's not Violini. She's sitting at the back at the moment. And it's the Collingwood runner, apologies there in Rhodes, who's setting the pace early. So Michaela Ward from Box Hill alongside her. So Rhodes, also Ward, and then Johnson coming through. Oldfield in next position. Then we've got Ava Plant. Gap then to Blight. But 3 really dicing it out front at the moment. So Oldfield's in a good position, just sitting back on the pack at the moment. And to the outside of her is the taller figure of Plant from Box Hill. So out front, Rhodes leads it. Johnson in next position now. Oldfield moving into 3rd spot. So Ward just drifting back a little bit. Her teammate Plant now she's coming alongside. So top 3 automatically through. Next 2 fastest times will proceed. And the race is on between the 2 Diamond Valley runners. And it is Oldfield, the first one to make the big move. So Ollie Oldfield ran quite well last weekend here at Lakeside Stadium. And she is staking her claim for a spot in that final. So she's quite safely going to get through now from that position. Johnson holding on. Also Rhodes in 3rd position and quite safe there. So I think the top 3 looking good here. Oldfield just trying to really push forward across the line. She's going to go for a big time here. It'll be around the 2:20 mark. And Ollie Oldfield will take it out. 2:20.67. Johnson next. Then Rhodes gets the auto spot. Then we have Michaela Ward in next position. Then Plant, Blight, Violini next. Sujendran and Miven in that order. 2:20.65 winning time there for Ollie Oldfield from Diamond Valley, taking out heat 1 of 2, the under 15 women's 800s.
Same again, Brian.
So our next presentation will be for the under 17 ambulant 800 metres, and our gold medalist in a time of 3:22.74 and a percentage of 63.00. It is from Mornington Peninsula, Alice Huddy. Medals presented by Emily Lagoo. We'll now introduce our next field, and it is heat 2 of 2 in the women's under 15 800 metres. In Station 1, representing Athletics Essendon, Riddy Mater. In 2, from Old Scotch, Sophie Senior. Grace Robinson from Diamond Valley is in Station 3. Lauren Tay from Box Hill lines up in 4. In Station 5, from Ringwood, we have Chloe Lynette. Charlotte Gibbs from South Melbourne in 6. Madeline Sekias from Box Hill, Station 7. In Station 8, Madeline Kearney from Doncaster. And from Mentone, Emily Bergen, Station 9. They're your starters in the second of 2 preliminary heats, under 15 women's 800. So Tay to the outside of her is Lynette from Ringwood. We're seeing a good move there from Sophie Senior from Old Scotch. And in the outer lanes there, I think Sekias from Box Hill also moving nicely. So it could well be Sekias to settle them down as they go into the back straight the first time. Kearney also starting to make her move as a front group of 5 start to really settle it and take the pace back. Lynette just to the rear of that group of 5. Tay just in front of her. So they're going through in about 33 seconds. So not quite as swift as the opening 200 of the previous heat, but we are seeing the whole field coming together again now, which is giving everyone a chance to be in contention here. So Robinson from Diamond Valley is on the outside there. Kearney's splitting them in the middle. I think Seki is still on the inside lane and taking the rails. Lynette going wide. Gibbs from South Melbourne just to the inside of her. Then behind her is Senior. Mater in next position, and then Bergen from a Mentone. So a group of 6, and we're seeing Chloe Lynette now making her move. So Tay's on the rails as well. Sekias still leads it, Lynette alongside her, so top 3 to go through automatically, and then the next 2 on time. So 2:20.65 winning time in the first of our heats to give you an indication as they go through 300 metres to go. And Sekias still leading, Lynette to the outside, Tay on the rails, Kearney still in the picture, Gibbs just starting to float back alongside Robinson from Diamond Valley, then a gap to Senior. So the pace really picking up as they go down the back straight and approach 600 metres. Sekias still leads it. Tay's looking good on the rails. He's been in that position the whole way, running the shortest possible distance, maybe just getting checked a little bit as they come through around with 200 to go. So top 3 automatic. Big run from Kearney now. So you see Kearney just settling into that position now. We've seen Gibbs launch. So the South Melbourne runner going to the outside and trying to get into that top 3, and the race is on. Everyone accelerates. This is fantastic running in this second heat. It's real championship stuff here, and it's those long legs of Chloe Lynette just stretching out, but the 2 girls from Box Hill won't let her go. And that'll be our free auto qualifiers. So Lynette, Sekias, Tay in that order. Kearney and Gibbs will have to wait on time. 2:25, so slightly slower. Robinson in next position. Senior next. Mater and also Bergen. But good win there, Chloe Lynette. 2:25, 36 unofficial, taking out heat 2 of 2. Let's go back to our presentations. And this will be for the under 20 para 800 metres, and with a percentage of 65.13 and a time of 3:16.13. Our gold medalist and Victorian champion representing Oldsavarians, Amelie Lagoo. Medals being presented by Georgia Pounding. 2:25.34 winning time there for Chloe Lynette from Ringwood. As I celebrate Amelie Lagoo's great win in the 800 metres, and she's now stepping on all steps. So next up we will be doing our open ambulant presentations, and in the bronze medal position with a percentage of 76.31 and a time of 3:13.99, representing Ballarat Harriers, Kirsty Newcomb. Medals presented by Annabelle Coleman. In the second position, receiving the silver medal with a percentage of 85.53 and a time of 2:29.35 from Oldsavarians, Georgia Pounding. And now this will be very interesting because Georgia Pounding is going to step off the step, and she is going to present with a percentage of 89.54 and a time of 2:22.65. Our gold medalist Victorian champion from Oldsmobile, Annabelle Coleman. So congratulations to Annabelle, and thank you for presenting, and thank you also to Georgia for her presentation duties as we see the three young ladies atop the top step there in the Ambulant Open 800 metre final. Thank you. We now move to the men's under 15 800 metres, and we have two preliminary heats. The top three from each heat plus the two next best times will proceed through to the final. So heat one, we have 7 starters. In station 1 from Ballarat Harriers, Leo McNeil. Oops, sorry, I'm reading heat number 2 because that's Henry Kerr-Lewis standing in lane number 1 for Old Scott. Shelfie Webb from Collingwood Harriers, he is in station 2. Angus Baker from Geelong Guild in 3. Tyler Hughes from Mornington's in 4. Elijah Marshall from Athletics Essendon in 5. And Jack Davenport from Sandringham in station 6. They're our 6 starters. Heat 1 of 2, men's under 15 800.
It's working, working.
On your mark. Stand up, please. Just get nice and still in so I can start the race. On your mark. If you check the boys under 15, Carol, I think the juniors.
So underway now in the first of our 2 heats of the under 15 800s for men, and it is the Essendon runner there in Marshall, off to a good start. Going with him is Mornington's Tyler Hughes, so they are really battling for that lead spot as they start to settle. Webb moving nicely on the inside now. Kerr-Lewis doing his bit to join the party, and we've also got the Geelong Guild runner there in Baker. So big group of 6 as they go through 200 in 30 seconds. And now we're seeing the taller figure there of Baker from Geelong Guild moving to the front. So very competitive opening 400 here. Everyone's still in the picture. Baker's on the rails. You can see Webb just to the outside of Marshall. Hughes to the outside of him now. Kerr-Lewis is making a move. And Davenport going with him. So 64 through the bell. So a decent opening lap here for our under 15s. And there's still Baker just controlling pace from the rail. Webb now deciding just to sit in and sit back there because there's a lot can happen in this last 300 metres. Davenport just sitting at the rear of the field but still in contention. As we see all 6 men moving beautifully down that back straight, but it is Angus Baker from Geelong Guild setting the pace. Be interesting to see who's got the turn of speed here. Marshall's looking pretty relaxed as he goes onto the shoulder of Webb 200 out. So top 3 to go through automatically. Next 2 will advance on times. Looks like Davenport's the first to crack here. Hughes and Kerr Lewis doing what they can. Marshall not looking so good now as they round the bend because Baker has controlled that pace beautifully. And if anything, it's Webb. But now we're seeing a lift from Hughes. Now Marshall goes. I picked it early. Top 3 to go through automatically, and there's 4 now vying for that spot. Baker goes up again. Marshall just edges past Webb. Hughes coming at them. And it will be, I'd say, Baker, Marshall, Hughes, Webb to wait on times. 2:11.25, 4 across the line. But I think Alfie Webb's just going to have to wait on times. Good opening heat, though. So 2:11.22, the official winning time there. And I think it was Baker who took that one out. So just confirming placings there, and it was Baker, Marshall, Hughes, Webb in that order. Now we go to the second of our preliminary heats there for the men's under 15s, and we have in Station 1 representing Ballarat Harriers, it is Leo McNeil. Kai Bunyard from Diamond Valley is in Station 2. Lachlan Rosado from Wellington Athletics lines up in 3. Darcy Parker, Athletics Essendon, Station 4. In Station 5 from Mentone, it is Thomas Scott. Sebastian Moore from Athletics Essendon in 6. And Jack Field from Ringwood, Station 7. So 2:11.22, the official winning time of the previous heat. And remember, they were all blanketed across. 64 through the first lap, and that will give us a good indicator as they start to settle. So it's Darcy Parker, but also now the Mentone runner there, and Thomas Scott doesn't mind leading these races. The other Essendon runner, also Sebastian Moore, I think that might be, but they are beautifully bunched at the moment. Leo McNeil from Harriers just sitting at the back of the pack at the moment, through about 32, so slightly slower through the opening 200 here compared to heat number 1. And it is the Essendon runner starting to just put a little bit of inject some speed into this 800 metres. You can see the taller figure of Rosado from Wellington going very wide out into lane 2. There's our 2 smaller figures there setting the pace here. So Sebastian Moore leads it. Bunyard sitting in 3rd position. Rosado still running very wide. To the inside of him is the other Essendon runner there in Darcy Parker. Field in next position, and then McNeil. But Moore has been really putting some pace in here. Bunyard just loping along, longer stride pattern. Now we're seeing the other Essendon runner in Parker making his move. So top 3 once again to go through automatically. A little bit gap now to Scott from Mentone. Rosado's trying to go with him. So Scott goes past Moore and then goes past Bunyard. So Scott into 2nd position now. Now Moore goes past Bunyard. It is on for everybody as they come around the top bend now. Last time, top 3 automatically through. 2:11.22, the winning time of heat number 1. So around the bend now, Bunyard now to the outside. Rosado sitting on the rails finally, but he's still in that 5th position. So it is the taller figure there, Parker, just streeting forward. He's going to get his position in. So it will be Parker to take 1, Bunyard quite safely into 2, 2:10.55. Then we'll have Scott, Moore, Rosado, Field and McNeil. So there's going to be a lot of anxious thumbs on the refresh button of Results Hub as we try to work out who makes it through. So I'll go back to presentations, and it is for the under 15s in the para 800 metres. And receiving the bronze medal with a percentage of 53.93 and a time of 3:30.57 from Casey Gdynia, Lucas Crowley. Brad McMeekin doing our presentations. In the silver medal position with a percentage of 74.36 and a time of 2:27.80 from Mornington Peninsula, Thomas McGough. But our winner in a very close competition here with a percentage of 75.53 and a time of 3:17.89 representing Athletics Essendon, Gilly Lumby. Fantastic performances there from Lucas Gilly and also Thomas, medalists in the under 15 800 metre para event. Do the prezzo given have got back there. And we'll quickly do our next presentation because we have Laurie and also Brad ready to go. And in the under 17 competition, receiving the silver medal with a time of 3:20.91, representing Yarra Rangers, Brad McMeekin, and a beautiful jump up onto the dais by Bradley. Receiving the gold medal in a time of 2:14.79 from Oldsavarians, it is Lawrence Todd. Congratulations to Bradley and also Lawrence, the medalist in the under 17 800 para event. Back down trackside, we go to the under 16 3 preliminary heats of the men's competition. And in heat number 1, we have in station 2 from South Melbourne, Jasper McKenna. In 3, representing Athletics Chilwell, Lachlan Thomas, Shevin Hedriarchi from Nunawadings in 4, Sam Meehan from Athletics Essendon in 5, Levi Hines from Ballarat YCW 6, and William Hughes from Mornington in 7.
On your mark.
So Hedriarchi out to a good start. To the outside of him, you've got Meehan from Essendon. And in the outer lanes there, Hines from YCW. McKenna on the inner lanes. To the outside of him from Chilwell, you've got Stewart moving through the pack and going up towards the top position. So top 2 getting much more cutthroat now in these 800s when we go to 3 heats. Top 2 auto qualifiers and 2 next best times. So you need to be near the front if you want to be playing in that final at Lakeside Stadium. So Hedriarchi from Nunawading leads it. Meehan sitting to the outside. Good move by Thomas to get into the action there. And then we've got Hines, McKenna, and also from Mornington, Hughes. So now it's Thomas decides he's going to take his chance out front. Comes alongside Hedriarchi. Time check as they go through the bell, 62 seconds. Meehan just sitting in the 3rd position there. But remember, 3rd's not good enough at this stage. You need to get top 2 to get an auto qualifier. Thomas now being shunted back a little bit because Meehan's done a good move on the inside. Hedriarchi's still driving forward. But now we're seeing the stride patterns just start to extend out and the cadence go up down the back straight. Bit of a gap then to Hines, Hughes coming through, and then McKenna. But 200 out. Looks like Meehan wants to charge forward. I think Thomas is just biding his time a little bit for the kick home, and Hedriarchi's just running like a scared cut out front because that's what's happening. They're coming at him. But Hedriarchi controlling the pace beautifully at the moment. So the Nunawading runner comes into the home straight first. Meehan's on the chase. Thomas has a bit of work to do, but now we're seeing them open up as they come through. So Hedriarchi's done all the work, and it is Thomas and also Meehan. I think Thomas has got the goods here. As I said, just sitting back in that 200 out position and then goes through it and takes the auto qualifier. 204.41 unofficial. Meehan in 2nd. Good run by Hedriarchi. Hopefully that'll get him through. Gap back then to Hughes and Hines in next position, and then it will be McKenna. So back down to presentations, and we have the men's under 20 800 metre ambulant event, and receiving the bronze medal with a percentage of 81.60 and a time of 2:14.68, representing Mornington Peninsula, Kai Davenport. Our silver medalist with a percentage of 84.07, a time of 2:11.67, representing Glen Huntly, William Short, and with a percentage of 88.06 and a time of 2:13.05, representing Sandringham, our gold medalist and Victorian champion, Leopold Reeve. So some sensational times there, taking out the men's under 20 800 metres. Let's introduce the field now for the next event, which is the men's under 16, heat 2 of 3. We have in Station 1, representing Wellington Athletics, Isaac Frost. In 2, from Sandringham, Maximilian Reeve. Station 4, we have from Old Melburnians, Finn Johnson. Lucas Harris from Athletics Essendon in 5. Suvan Sujendran from Glen Huntly in 6. And William Anderson from Knox in 7.
On your mark. Stand up, please. Stand up. Nice and steady when I call you up. On your mark.
So Reeve from Sandringham off to a good start. Johnson from Old Melburnians also moving nicely, and to the outside there it is Sujendran from Glen Huntly who will take the lead and set the pace. So 2:04.4 thereabouts, the lead time in the first of our 3 preliminary heats, and they're clocking through at about 28 seconds. So nice start there from Sujendran, taking the field through. You can see Harris from Essendon sitting in that 4th position. Remember, top 2 to go through automatically, then they've got to wait on times. A little bit of a gap back to Anderson, and then in next position you've got Frost from Wellington. But out front it is Suvan Sujendran. Johnson performing well at national level is Finn Johnson, and the Old Melburnians runner looks quite in control here as he approaches the bell, which they go through in right on 60 seconds. So a race of 4 out front, Johnson controlling pace. Sujendran quite happy to sit in that 2nd position as Johnson starts to stretch it down the back straight. Now it's up to Harris to make his move, and he does just that, drawing alongside Sujendran and moving into 2nd position, 200 out. Top 2 auto qualifiers here. So Reeve now out of the picture a little bit. Will have to fight on over the last 200 if he wants a non-auto. But out front, Johnson looks very much in control. So Finn Johnson from Old Melburnians into the home straight. Sujendran's going to go wide here, and he's going to challenge Harris because it's all important, that auto qualifying spot, as Johnson comes into the home straight now. And it's probably not all over either, because Johnson's got to have a look around the shoulder, and he will hear footsteps. Harris coming home strong. Johnson in control though, looks around, knows he's got it, so Finn Johnson will take it. Harris will take the auto spot. Sujendran's going to have to wait on time. Slightly slower that one, 2 seconds adrift. Reeve will be in next position, Anderson and also Frost. And back down in presentations, we have our men's open ambulant 800 metre final, and the silver medalist with a percentage of 73.87 and a time of 2:28.78, representing Diamond Valley. It is Dylan Vidana Pafarana. And our gold medalist and Victorian champion with a percentage of 79.33 and a time of 2:18.54, represents the Old Zavarians, Carlo Manalitsis. Congratulations to Dylan and Carlo in our 800 metre ambulant event. I'll endeavour to try and get some updates from Stromlo, but the 800s are coming thick and fast at the moment. So next event is the third and final heat of the under-16 men's 800s, and in Station 1, representing Athletics Essendon, Andre Fowler. Austin Lambert from Glen Huntly's in Station 2. Station 3 from Albury Athletics, Blake Morgan. In 4 from Nunawading, Oscar Wright. Jet Keeley from Knox in 5. Harry Maddox from Doncaster, 6. And Chase Jardine from Essendon, Station 7.
On your mark.
So quality field here. Morgan from Albury likes to push it out. We know the quality of Oscar Wright, though, had a sensational week 1 here, and you've got Jet Keeley to the outside. This is a compelling top 3 here. 2 spots going through automatically, and it's Wright who's going to settle them down. So no panicking here as we see Maddox making a good move. Lambert's just behind him. Gap then to our 2 Essendon runners in Jardine and also Fowler. But out front, settling down now, allowing Maddox, and probably Lambert might even latch back on again here as we see the taller figure there of Wright just starting to settle things down a bit. Jet Keeley sitting to the outside. Top 2, gee, the pace has gone off a little bit. It'll be interesting to see this split as they come through the opening 400 metres. So 2:04 and 2:06 have been the winning times in the previous 2 heats here. But I think these guys, there's some quality in this one. Morgan's got to really push it forward here, and Maddox has got to try and latch on. So 63, I think they're going to kick down a little bit because they're going to be coming at the 2 leaders as they go into that final 200, I'm sure. So Wright controlling pace. Keeley to the outside. Now Morgan has his little dip. You can just see he wants to go alongside but can't quite make it up that distance. And it is Maddox just ambling along in 4th position, but they're going to really have to push the pace home. Remember that 2:04 in the opening heat, and now we're seeing Maddox make his move. I'd be interested to see what Morgan does. I think he'll just latch on and try and go. The 2 top seeds, though, are sitting up front, though, and Wright knows how to control a race, and he's doing just that as he goes through the top bend with Keeley going with him on his ankles. So top 2 to go through. I wouldn't be surprised if both Morgan and Maddox might try and get into that final, though. They're both quality runners, and they are just digging deep as Wright just shows his class once again, though. Just moves forward. He's going to secure his spot. Now, Keeley and Morgan are really going to go for that second spot, and I think the Albury runner, Morgan's going to grab it. So 2:04. So going to be interesting for Maddox and also Keeley. They're going to have to wait on times. It was Oscar Wright and Blake Morgan taken. Lambert in next position, and then Jardine and Fowler battling out beautifully here as they come into the home straight to round out our action there in the under-16 men's 800s. So 2:04.96 winning time there. So it was the second fastest of the heats. So once again, there'll be some quick refreshing of those results, and our photo finish team here are doing a marvellous job of getting the results updated very quickly. I'll try and give you a little bit of an update from Stromlo, but I do believe Melissa Duncan has come in 2nd position in the Open Women, so that will guarantee her an auto selection for the World Cross Country, which is absolutely sensational for Melissa. Just don't know who won as yet. Let's go to the under-20 men's pole vault competition. And we have in the bronze medal position, representing Ballerine with the best clearance of 4.25 metres, Noah Burns. Receiving the Victorian Championship silver with a best clearance of 4.40 metres, representing Box Hill, Johnny Suarez. Receiving the invitation silver with a best clearance of 4.60 metres from the ACT, Misha von Scheppingen. But on the top step, the Victorian champion and the gold medalist, also with a best clearance of 4.60, but winning on the count back from Athletics Chilwell, Alexander Jarman. So congratulations to Noah, Johnny, Misha and Alexander, medalists in the under-20 men's pole vault. Okay, let's go to the first of three preliminary heats of the women's under 17 800 metres. Top two once again, and next two best times will proceed through. In heat number one, we have in station one from Yarra Ranges, Christina Nikovsky. Sarah Fitzpatrick from Athletics Essendon in station two. Amelia Rossi from Williamstown in three. Station 4 from Western Athletics, Lucy Cleveland. Evie Lurie from Ballerines in Station 5. Station 6 from Glen Huntly, Jacinta Crowley. And Georgia Lestrange from Diamond Valley is in 7. So we'll watch for Cleveland, who's the outstanding 1,500 metre runner. Dropping down there, you can see the long pink socks, the colour of choice this Friday evening, not in the green. It's Nikovsky from Yarra Ranges. Darts out from that lane one. Now we're seeing Cleveland edge forward. Fitzpatrick's just to the inside of her. And now Cleveland just launches forward. So the ballerine runner there too, Lurie, I think, has moved forward as well as they go through the 200. Pretty quick start there from Christina, and it's just starting to settle down now. As you can see, the stride pattern of Lucy Cleveland in those pink socks just starting to edge forward and then come alongside Nikovsky. So into the home straight first time. Cleveland just sitting to the outside. Lurie in next position. On the inside, you've got Rossi, Fitzpatrick next, Crowley, and then Lestrange. So anyone's race at the moment, but you can just see Lucy Cleveland just wants to edge forward now. So 69.70 through the lap. Lurie's now just got to make the move, and we're going to see Fitzpatrick hopefully go with them. And Rossi. Impressed by Rossi last week at the 1500s. So don't know a lot about Amelia Rossi, but she's showing some good nous here as she moves past Lurie and breaks into that inner lane, which is an important thing. Top two to go through automatically, and Rossi has moved into that position. Now it's Fitzpatrick being asked the question as Crowley and also the taller figure there, I think that's Lestrange. They're battling out, trying to get back in contact with the leaders. But Lucy Cleveland's just doing it her own way at the moment, just trying to be as comfortable as possible proceeding through to the final of this 800 metres. Rossi just striding out nicely. She's got to defend that position. Can Lurie go forward? Can Fitzpatrick move forward? Crowley looking strong as they come into the home straight. But Rossi might just have enough real estate here to be in that safe position. Now we're seeing Lurie just pick it up. Fitzpatrick's giving it everything she's got, but I'm not sure they'll bridge that gap. And Rossi looks very comfortable as she edges forward towards Cleveland. And they'll take those two auto spots. So around 221, 222 for the finish. Lurie in next position will have to wait on times. Then Fitzpatrick, Crowley, Lestrange and Nikovsky. So 222.02 winning time, Lucy Cleveland, heat number 1 of 3. So just updating Stromlo, the winner of the women's selection trial. Paige Campbell from New South Wales took it out, 35.22. 10 seconds adrift, Melissa Duncan, our very own Victorian, 35.32. In third position and in with a good chance to go to the World Cross Country. Also from Victoria, Morty Skyring. Sarah Klein, the other Victorian, in fourth position. And this will be very interesting to see who they select for that women's open team. Abigail Nordberg from New South Wales was in next position. So heat number 2 of 3 in the under-17 women's 800. And we have Estelle Sacco from Athletics Essendon in Station 1. Lucy Kearney from Doncaster in 2. Representing Old Scotch, we have Gabrielle King in Station 3. Honor Tobin, Western Athletics in Station 4. From Ringwood, Alicia Harmer is in Station 5. Station 6 from South Melbourne, Ruby Donaldson. And in 8 from Geelong Guild, we have Emily McCormick. So watch for Tobin in the middle lanes. Saw a teammate Cleveland control the race in that previous one and winning in 2:22.02. So time's pretty irrelevant. It's just getting that top 2 spots. And we're seeing the taller figure there for King from Old Scotch moving forward, and Donaldson from South Melbourne trying to slip into second position and run in the footsteps there of Honor Tobin. So Tobin's just controlling pace at the moment. Seeing the Ringwood runner there, Harmer, also moving nicely early on and just trying to establish good position. And from John Guild, we've also got McCormick has come across from the outer lanes. But Tobin out by a couple of metres over Donaldson. McCormick in next position. To the outside now, we've got the Old Scotch runner in King. So top 2 auto to go through. King trying hard. Also McCormick really trying to push forward there. Sacco at the rear of the field at the moment, and she'll be chasing Harmer from Ringwood. As we've seen now, Kearney having her chance out front, moving into third position alongside McCormick. So 68 through the bell. So slightly faster than the first of the heats. So that's good for those positions 3, 4, 5 at the moment as they try to just dig into this last lap. But Honor Tobin's just looking very, very relaxed as she goes 300 out. So as we know, very, very good over the 400 and through to the 8s and 15s. And Honor Tobin looking good. But King now makes the move. McCormick back in the picture. Kearney. Gap then to Harmer, Donaldson, and then Sacco. So as the sun starts to set over Lakeside, 200 out here. Beautiful cityscape we can see from the main grandstand here. And Honor Tobin looking very pretty herself as she comes through with about 150 to go and looking very comfortable and relaxed. So 2 of the Western A's girls are going through to this final. It will be a good showdown potentially. And gee, good run there from McCormick. That was a nice little move. Surprised King to a certain degree. Kearney's battling on very, very well. And then we've got Harmer, but it looks like McCormick as Tobin just eases back here. So it's going to be a finish time similar to the first one, around that 2:21, 2:22. So Tobin, McCormick qualifies. King will wait on time, so will Harmer. Kearney in next position, Donaldson and Sacco. Just updating from Stromlo, and this is very exciting news, the men's qualification. And we have Haftu Strinsos from Victoria taking out the men's race and auto qualifying for the World Cross Country in Belgrade. Also auto qualifying by coming second, the old man of Victorian Athletics, Liam Adams, makes another team. So Liam's making it through to the World Cross Country once again. He came second. Waiting for discretion of the selectors will be Zach Faccioni, who, as we now know, he represents New South Wales, but is based in Victoria now. In fourth position, also from Victoria, Edward Marks from Glen Huntly. Andre Waring from Box Hill in fifth position. So the Victorians absolutely dominating that event. But congratulations to Haftu Strinsos, also Liam Adams for being auto selections for the World Cross Country. So let's introduce our next event. It is the third and final heat of the women's under 17 800 metres. And we have in Station 2 representing Athletics Essendon, Rosa Barbanti. Station 3 from Doncaster, Olivia Collette. In 4, representing Ballerine, Charlotte Wilson. In 5, from Tasmania, we welcome Ashley Felberg. In Station 6, from Deakin, Isla Bradshaw. In 7, from Ringwood, Emily Shearer. Station 8, from Wellington Athletics, Mia Khalija. And in Station 9, from Eureka, Eilish Ryan. They are starters in the Heat 3 of 3, women's under 17 800. So the starter will bring them back. So 2:22's been the winning times of the previous two heats thereabouts. Let's see what heat 3 serves up to us. As we're seeing, I think the Tasmanian's got out quite quickly there already. So they're going into the darkness at the moment. I'll try and get the binoculars on this one because I've lost sight, lost vision of the leader at the moment as they go through. But looks definitely like the Tasmanian sitting in second position there. So great sunset here as they come through. So 2:22, they're going through around that 70-second mark, if not a little bit quicker through the bell. And it is the Tasmanian leading Felberg. Bradshaw's in second position. Shearer in next position there. Then a little bit of a gap to Collegia, also Collette, and then Wilson. But Ashley Felberg looking to get a spot in the Victorian Championship final here, and I think the way she's running at the moment, that young lady from Tasmania is going to make her way through. So don't know much about her, but she's looking the goods down the back straight. Isla Bradshaw's just sitting beautifully there in the second position. Emily Shearer's got a little bit of work to do, but she's just going to chase the times. Remember, it was around those 2:20 marks, 2:22s. So if Shearer can deliver a good last 200, she's going to really put herself in the picture. And also she might be looking at an auto qualifier because the three of them are starting to come together again. So Felberg leading, Bradshaw in second position, Shearer, group of three, Wilson in next position, but probably out of the picture now. Into the home straight. Felberg still leads it. They're all on the rail. Is anyone going to go wide? I don't think they will. They're just going to put their heads down and go for time. 2:10 on the clock now. It is going to be relatively fast. Could be the fastest of these qualifying heats, which is great for Emily Shearer. But Felberg's going to stop the clock. It'll be a sub 2:20 and just under. Then Bradshaw. Shearer's going to have to wait on time, but that's a good run and a good chance there. Wilson's through next position, then Collette, Barbanti next, and then the young lady from Eureka in Eilish Ryan and Mia Collegia will round out the third and final under 17 women's 800. 2:19.56 there for Ashley Felberg from Tasmania. Men's under 17, 800 metre preliminary heats, and there will be 3 of them once again, with the top 2 automatically qualifying. We love these cutthroat 800s. Next 2 best times will proceed through. In heat number 1, we have in Station 1 from Mornington Peninsula, Ocean Shepherd. In 2 from Mentone, Gideon Fisher. Station 3 from Old Scotch, Thomas Lindemann. Jesse Lumby from Athletics Essendon in 4. Archie Matson from Glen Huntly's in 5. Angus Borshman from Ballerine in 6. In Station 7 from Western Athletics, Stephen Morgan. And Alexander Katsabas from Maccabi is in Station 8.
On your mark.
So the first of our 3 preliminary heats here, so the boys really have to put their foot down and not put or leave anything to chance if they go heat 1. They've got to get the times on the board, and Borshman from Ballerine is doing that, just that. Matson from Glen Huntly's now in the chase. Lumby sitting pretty in 3rd position, but the inside of him now, Gideon Fisher starts to move through. So Borshman shooting through, 27 thereabouts for the opening 200. So Angus Borshman not mucking around whatsoever here in this first of the 3 preliminary finals, the under-17s. But as we know, cutthroat, top 2 only going through, next 2 best times. So you've got to get a score on the board early. So Borshman, Fisher, Matson, Lumby. Now Lindemann, not wearing the cap today, makes my job a bit harder. Just the inside of him is Shepherd. Morgan in next position, then Katsabas. So about 58 seconds through for Borshman. The chasing pack's coming at him though, so very aggressive early was Angus Borshman, and now we're seeing the gap start to come through. So Lumby knows how to run a race. He's sitting in 4th position, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse Lumby navigates his way up to the top of this field before too long. So you're seeing the gaps now starting to come through. Borshman's doing a good job of just keeping them at bay for the moment, but now Lumby starts to launch and takes Matson with him. So Borshman, Lumby, Matson on the inside there, you've got Fisher. Borshman's done really well. He just has to hang on now. Top 2 to automatically go through. Angus Borshman's really set this race up. Lumby was patient, so was Matson, and now they go to the outside, and Borshman's back in it. Don't underestimate the finish speed of Angus Borshman. So Matson now goes to the front. Lumby looks around, but he's got to look to the inside as well, because you've got Borshman and Fisher coming at him. Fisher will nab 2nd spot. Lumby will have to wait on time. 2:00.71. Borshman in 4th. What a great race that was. Everyone giving it absolutely everything. Smart racing by Matson, smart racing by Fisher. Lumby and Borshman will have to wait on times as we see Katsabas from Maccabi coming through to round out the first of our 3 preliminary heats in the men's under 17 800. So 2:00.69, Archie Matson taking out the first of our heats. Next up, heat 2 of 3 in the men's under 17 800s. Ranveer Cambo from Chilwell's in 1. Jared Ferguson, Athletics Southwest in Station 2. Aidan Marasco from Box Hill in 3. In 4 from Glen Huntly, it is Brady Ryan. Hugh Nucky from Athletics Chilwell in Station 5. Riley Stewart, Wellington in 6. In 7, Thomas Short from Diamond Valley. And in Station 8 from Maccabi, Alexander Kurvich.
On your mark.
So watch for Nucky, also Ryan, Marasco, Ferguson, a good chance in this one as well. It'll be interesting to see how they settle. To the outside too, you've got Riley Stewart from Wellington in the white uniform. It will be Nucky leading them through. On the inside, I think Cambo's, no sorry, that's not Cambo, that is probably Marasco also working up. But Ryan's now slipping into the second position, Riley Stewart in third. To the outside is the Diamond Valley runner there in short. So I didn't get the split through the 200, so we'll watch for that 400 split. So 2:00.69, the opening heat win. So that gives Hugh Nucky something to think about. Ferguson's to the outside now and looking good. Alongside Ryan, and Stewart sitting in a good position on the rails. So ticking through the 400 in 59.04. So nicely positioned there. These guys can pretty much negative split if they want to. And you're seeing Nucky and Ryan now just getting that little bit of a break from Ferguson. Stewart's got to make a big move here if he wants to get into the picture in that top 2 auto positions. So a little bit different to the last race because we're seeing that gap just really go forward. And I'm not sure if Stewart or Ferguson have the wheels really to pull that back from those 2 class runners out front in Nucky and also Ryan. So the gap now out to about 15 metres. The auto qualifiers through 600 now. A little bit of work to do there. We're seeing the Diamond Valley runner there in short, also now coming alongside Ferguson. But out front, Nucky's done a great job. Ryan's just done what he has to do, and that's just stick with Hugh Nucky because he knows that Nucky will drive this train through and give them both the auto qualifiers. So the pace going off here, so we won't be too interested in time because these two have just really controlled this. Now Stewart's charging forward. He knows 2:00 was the time that won that previous one. 1:59 winning time, so Stewart maybe has a chance to get through. Short in next position, then Ferguson, Marasco. Then we have Cambo and also from Maccabi, Kurvich. So next presentation is, we're going to the javelin throw, and it is the under 20 women's competition. And with a best distance of 35.21 metres, representing the Sandringham Athletic Club and receiving the bronze medal, Sophie Wilcock. Medals presented by Tom Gamble from Athletics Victoria. From Diamond Valley with a best of 35.77 metres. Our silver medalist is Tara Smith. And with a best of 36.34, a very close competition this one. One of our regional athletes from Albury Athletics, the gold medalist and Victorian state champion is Shaylee Ginger Ryan. Congratulations to Sophie, Tara and Shaylee, the medalists in the women's under 20 javelin. So back down to the 800 metre action, heat 3 of 3 of the under 17 for men. And in station 1, representing Athletics Essendon, it is Vobama Gunalan. In 2, from Wyndham Track and Field, Matthew Persson. Ethan Miller from Glen Huntly's in station 3. Oakley Burge, Ballarat Harriers, lines up in station 4. Next to him, from Casey Cardinia, it is Lucas Kish. In 6, from Knox, Anjana Jayalaf. In station 7 from Diamond Valley, it is Ethan Armstrong-Bourne. Station 8 from Athletics Essendon, Aidan Davis. And station 9 from Athletics Nunawading, it is Gilbert McCann. They're your starters in the third and final heat of the men's under 17 800.
Coach behind the line, lane 1. On your mark. Stand up, please. Stand steady, be nice and still in the second position. On your mark.
So away now. 2:00, 1:59 being the winning time. So these boys know what lies ahead. Plus they do have the Kish factor in this one. So Lucas Kish, he's a 1:53 runner, I believe, about that 1:53, 1:54, but he's been running very quickly. But it is our Wyndham Track and Field runner, Matthew Persson, who I don't know much about, who is getting them off to a dramatically fast start. So they are really pushing that first 200, about 27 through. And now we just see the legs of Kish just moving forward, probably trying to avoid trouble because there could be a bit of a slowdown factor. That was a very quick start. So Kish leading it now, getting ahead of Persson. You can see Armstrong-Bourne got the white cap. He's going wide to the outside there of Ethan Miller. So Oakley Burge sitting in that third slot. Remember, top 2 to go through automatically. Kish just now getting out to a 10-metre break over Armstrong-Bourne. Persson in next position, then Miller, Burge. Jylaf in next, then Davis. Gunalan, and then McCann. But Lucas Kish just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit now. He's just going to try and get through with as little effort as possible here. Definitely the top seed in this age group in this 800 metres. Saw him run such a good race, but also drive others to a great race last week in that 1500 in this age group. And now we're seeing some action as Miller, he launches forward. So Kish can't put the foot on the brake too heavy here because they're going to start to come at him. So you can just see him lift a little bit as he goes around that top bend, just once again to get a little bit of clearance as he comes into the home straight. The race for this second position's on though. Miller's currently got it. You've got Jylaf and also Burge coming at him, so it's really on. Kish looks around. You'll hear footsteps soon because Miller's gone up another gear. Jylaf's gone up a gear or 2 or 3, but it will be Kish taking the auto. Miller will join him. Jylaf's got to wait on time. The time's going to be a bit slower on that one. So I'd say Kish and Miller definitely through. Jylaf, Burge really going to have to be waiting on times. Then Armstrong-Bourne, Davis through next, Persson in. Then we have Gunalan, and then rounding out the field in the under-17s will be Gilbert McCann from Athletics Nunawading. So 2:01.24 official winning time there. Lucas Kish, Casey Cardinia taking out the third and final heat of the under-17s. We now move to the action in the women's under 18 800 metre heats. There will be 2 preliminary heats, top 3 in each heat, plus the 2 next best times will proceed through to the final. Heat number 1 in station 1, representing Mornington Peninsula, it is Olivia Ponchard. In 2 from Athletics Waverley, Ashlyn Jansen. Station 3, representing Wellington Athletics, Alicia Reid. Station 4 from South Bendigo, Genevieve Nihil. Station 5 from Diamond Valley, Ali Brooks. Station 6, representing South Australia, we welcome Malika McLeod. In 7, from Frankston, it's Kyla Schwallow. Station 8, from Mentone, Celestine DeBarg Tamai. Station 9, from Wellington Athletics, Lily Marizzato. And in Station 10, from Ringwood, Isabella T-Boss. They're your 10 starters. Heat number 1 of 2, women's under 18 800 metres.
On your mark.
So a field of 10 in this first heat, top 3 to go through, next 2 best times. One to watch here, we've got McLeod from South Australia, also Brooks, Nihil. It'll be interesting to see as they settle who decides to take the lead. So it looks like Brooks is pushing forward. I think that might be McLeod just ahead of her at the moment, as we see good opening 200 there. So you can see them stretching out, which means the pace is on. I think McLeod looking good. Nihil sitting in 3rd position there. Schwallow just off the back of her. But into the home straight first time. So Brooks just sitting 1 out, 1 back. So McLeod leads it. Nihil in next position, then Schwallow. The gap's really starting to form here. Schwallow now slipping into that 3rd position. So 300 out. Those top 3 as Brooks now starts to draw down on McLeod. So the first 2 looking relatively safe at the moment, but the battle is on between the 2 of them, as Nihil now in that 4th position really has to keep driving through on that last 200. So out front, McLeod, Brooks, South Australian versus the Diamond Valley athlete. Frankston Schwallow currently in 3rd position and on an auto qualifier. Nihil from South Bendigo in the red uniform. She's got a bit of work to do, but she's going to push forward for time as well, because this is actually quite a fast heat. So the South Australian looks like she's going to take it. Brooks is just settling down. Now Nihil makes the big move, just gets ahead of Schwallow. So it's going to be a sub 220, around 217, so that's pretty sharp running. So Schwallow into the 4th position there. DeBarg Tamai then through next. Then we have Jansen, then Reid through. Next one through will be Ponchard. Then a little bit of a gap back, and I think that's Marizzato in next position. And then T-Boss will round out the field. Let's go to our next presentation. And it will be for the men's under 20 triple jump championship. Receiving the bronze medal with the best distance of 13.58 metres, representing Athletics Chilwell, Seth McLeish. With a best of 13.72 and representing the Athletics Essendon Club. In 2nd position, Sebastian Weikart. And our gold medalist and Victorian champion, very close competition here, best of 13.85 metres, representing Wyndham Track and Field, Divesh Sri Deenafilan. So congratulations to Seth, Sebastian and Divesh. Very good competition there in the men's under 20 triple jump. So top two times, heat number one, 2:17.62 McLeod, 2:17.88 for Brooks. They are the auto qualifiers. Also Nihil getting through, and will be Swallow waiting on times. Let's introduce our field now for our second of the two heats of the women's under 18 800s. Representing Wellington Athletics, taking station one, it is Darcy Knowles. From Mentone, we have Sarah Hastings in station two. In three, representing Ringwood, Millie Smythe. Tavia Williams, Athletics Southwest, lines up in four. Declan Tanner, Mornington Peninsula in five. Lucy Delbridge, Collingwood Harriers in station six. Thea Prattley from Box Hill in seven. Charlotte Gray from Athletics Essendon in station eight. Imogen Crooks from Nunawading in nine. And Maddie Boyd from Wellington Athletics, station 10. So probably our two top seeds standing side by side there in Tanner and also Delbridge. Williams has got the inside running on those, and that'll be good for Tavia as they start to come through. But you've also got the Ringwood runner there, I believe, pushing forward as well, and that's Millie Smythe. But out front, Decky Tanner, she's probably been the standout over the 800 in this age group for the past few seasons, and Tanner's having a bit of a very good year in 23-24 in this season. So Tanner's leading it. Really bunched behind her though. So Tanner's gone through in about 32-33 through the opening 200. So not too fast, not too slow either. It's a good, honest pace for a heat. So we saw the 2:17s as the winning times in the first one. 3 to go through automatically, so the rest have to worry about trying to get in around that 2:20 mark or better. So Tanner leads. Delbridge in next position. Great to see Delbridge back on the track this season. Next position, it is Smythe, I believe. Williams on the rails. And then we have got Boyd from Wellington in next slot. And then to the outside of her, Thea Prattley from Box Hill. So 67 through. So Tanner leading it nicely. Tavia Williams now just getting up on the back of the Ringwood runner there in Smythe. So this is good running from the next three. They've got to try and just push through. So top four looking good now. Williams makes a move down the back straight. That's brave, but a good move as she goes alongside and past Delbridge. So Tavia Williams moving into second. Delbridge now third. Smythe fourth. Gap then to Boyd. Boyd's just got to hang on here because it's been a pretty good opening lap, and Maddie Boyd's just got to give us that last 200 and stay solid. But out front, it's all Decky Tanner. As I said, she has been dominating this age group over the 800 metres, and she is looking quite solid as she comes through to around that final bend. Williams now in second position. Delbridge fighting on. She's currently in the auto qualifying spot, top three to go through. Now we're seeing a good run from Boyd. She's really building it up. So Delbridge might have to get a little bit of a move on here as we see Tanner takes the foot off the pedal. Williams is going to get through. Delbridge will also auto qualify, but we're going to see Boyd try and throw her hat in the ring, and she might just make it. Smythe in next position, then Prattley. Hastings in next slot. Then we've got Gray from Essendon. Coming through now from Wellington. That's Darcy Knowles. And Imogen Crooks, Nunawading will round it out. So 2:15 the winning time there for Decky Tanner, taking out the second of our preliminary heats of the women's under 18. So once again, go to Results Hub, do the refresh, and you will see who qualifies through. That one is going to be very interesting. So 2:15.31 official winning time there for Decky Tanner. The 800 action now moves to the under 18s for the men, and we have 2 preliminary heats here. Top 3 once again to go through the next 2 best times, and we have in station 1 of heat 1 from Wormstown, Jed Gibney. Station 2 from Box Hill, Mackay Morrison. In 3 from Melbourne University, Harvey McInnes. Station 4 from Western Athletics, Jackson Wright. In 5 from Ballerine, it is Joshua Unthank. Station 6 from Nunawading, Jake Olorenshaw. Station 7 from Western Athletics, Alexander Cameron Smith. In 8 from South Melbourne, James Gibbs. Ethan Evans from Mentone is in 9. Thomas Steinman from Doncaster is in 10. And rounding out the field from Essendon in Station 11, Isaac Fowler. 11 starters, heat 1 of 2, men's under 18, 800 metres. So 11 starters will be nice and congested as they hit those cones and start to cross over the track. Watch for Olorenshaw. Also, Unthank could be quite willing early, and I think it is Olorenshaw leading them through. Unthank going with them. Then we've got the taller figure there of Cameron Smith. Had a brilliant pre-Christmas, and then I think might have had a little bit of a niggle or an injury, and we lost Cameron Smith for a Milers Club meet or 2, but he's back again, and that taller figure sitting there in that 3rd position, just to the outside of Jed Gibney as they start to settle. So, gee, fast opening 200. Unthank is really serving it up to them at the moment. Top 3 automatically go through. This will be a very willing race because it's a great age group. Lots of stacked full of talent. So Cameron Smith sitting to the outside of Gibney. You've also got the Western Athletics, the other Western Athletics runner in right, moving beautifully. From Melbourne Uni, Harvey McInnes sitting in next position. And then the Box Hill runner there in Morrison. Bit of a gap back to him. But out front, it is Joshua Unthank leading the way. Olorenshaw, Cameron Smith, and then Wright, Gibney, then McInnes in that order. Top 3 just starting to edge away, and you can see the taller figure there of Cameron Smith. When he's in shape, he knows how to run a good 800 metres, and I think he's positioning himself beautifully through this heat just to do what he needs to do to get through, because the gaps are now starting to form. So McInnes trying to do his work to get back into that top 3 or just to force through a very good opening time. So its next 2 best times will get through as Unthank just stretches it out. Olorenshaw does what he needs to do just to sit in that 2nd position, and Cameron Smith knows he's safe, but he just wants to take a scalp for the sake of it. So he'll take 2nd behind Unthank. Olorenshaw qualifies. Then we're going to have McInnes, also Gibney, and then Wright. Gibbs in next position. Then Morrison. From Mentone, that was Evans. Fowler in next position, and Steinman will round it out. So 157.2 something will take that one out, and very closely run. And for McInnes, he'll be watching on times here. 157.24 winning time there for Joshua Unthank in the first of our 2 heats in the men's under 18, 800. So heat 2, they know what they need to do, run 157, and you should get yourself in here, boys. So let's see how they stack up here in the 2nd of our 2 preliminary heats of the men's under 18, 800. Once again, 11 starters. It is packed. From Western Athletics, we have Matthew Massara in Station 1, James Martino from Box Hill in 2. From Athletics Southwest, William Callahan in Station 3. Next to him, we saw him run so well over the 4s last week. Austin Fernando is in Station 4. Will Caddick from Scotch, he's in 5. The other twin, Jackson, this time from Ballerine. Jackson Unfax in 6. Sebastian Farrelly from Mornington is in 7. Jack Gospel from Shepparton Athletics, he lines up in Station 8. Brody Atchison from Knox in 9. Ethan Snyders from Western Athletics in 10. And Charlie Watts from Mansfield lines up in Station 11. Ready to go, Heat 2 of 2, men's under 18, 800s. So once again, a packed field. It'll be interesting to see how they settle. Fernando might just sort of sit there for a little while because he has got that wonderful closing speed. Wouldn't be surprised if Caddick leads the way, though. He does like to get out hard and go from the gun, and Caddick's doing just that. Fernando's now going to slip in on the inner lane there to the outer lanes there. If we've got Atchison going strongly in the early stages. Unthank sitting nicely in 4th position, make that 3rd as they go through the 200 in around 26 seconds. They're flying. Will Caddick setting it up beautifully here. I said they just got to get through in that around the 157 mark, and a lot of these boys are capable of just that. Even though it is a heat, they're going to push the pace because they want to get through to that final. So out front, Caddick's now settling it down. Farrelly's in the picture at the moment. You've also got Callahan from Athletics Southwest in the picture alongside Atchison. A little bit of a gap back then to Martino, and on the rails you've got the Shepparton runner there in Gospel, but Caddick takes them through. 57, nicely set up, Will Caddick. Thanks to the outside of Fernando, and then Farrelly. Gap then, a little bit of a gap then to Callahan, so are the gaps starting to form? Callahan has tried hard and he has done it, just about latched back on. Gap then to Atchison, and that gap is growing. So Caddick's still leading it. Fernando, as we know, can kick down beautifully. Top 3 to go through, and there's 4, possibly 5 in contention if Callahan can just keep that momentum. So it is Unfank to the outside. Farrelly's got a really good run on the rails there, and it's just getting a beautiful move through. So it is Caddick, Farrelly, Unthank, Fernando. What's Fernando going to do from here? He's not in the auto qualifying spot at the moment. Is the 800 journey just that bit too far for him? We're going to find out as he comes into the home straight, though. Caddick's controlled it beautifully. I love the way Will Caddick does this. Callahan's the one who's dropping from the clouds, challenging the young man from Sandringham, Fernando, and Farrelly's now under risk here. Boy, oh gee, we're going to have to go to photo for that one. Caddick's got it. Unfank's going to have to wait on time, but I'm not going to call it. We'll wait for the photo, and I'll try and update everyone as we see Martino coming through, and also from Mansfield, it's Watts. Wow, 3 of them abreast for only 2 spots. So 156.90 winning time. So that's a good thing for the likes of Unthank. And let's just wait and see what the judge's decision on that one was. So official positions in the previous heat, taking it out was Will Caddick, led all the way. Second position, getting an auto qualifying position from Athletics Southwest, William Callahan. Third position, taking the third auto qualifier from Sandringham, Austin Fernando. And in fourth position, waiting on times, will be Sebastian Farrelly from Mornington Peninsula. So once again, big thank you to South Melbourne Physio, who are our sponsors for the 2 weekends of the Victorian State Championships. So remember, you can visit South Melbourne Physio up on the main deck throughout the course of the championships, and they will be doing pre and post event treatments and massage for our competitors. So they're located at 98 York Street. There's also a competition for everyone who does go and have a treatment. You're going into the running for a running assessment at South Melbourne Physio, as I said, 98 York Street in South Melbourne. And we do welcome them on board here at Athletics Victoria as our naming rights sponsor for 2024 Victorian Track Field Championships. Still plenty of events in the field as well, as we see the next lot of 800 metres starting to get ready. The pole vault for the women is underway at the VIS end, and the scoreboard end we do have more javelin competitions, and there seems to be a horizontal jump also on the far side of the track. So the next event on the track will be the first of 3 preliminary heats for the men's under 2,800 metres. In Station 1 from Knox Athletic Club, Douglas Shuttleworth. In 2 from Mentone, Dylan Gillespie. Jack Alice from Athletics Chilwells in Station 3. From Ballerine, we have Broden Bond in Station 4. Wolfgang Kotranamisi from Collingwood Harriers lines up in 5. Lucas Scholes-Robertson from Doncaster's in 6. Oliver Pratt from Mornington Peninsula is in 7. Ethan Riley from Western Athletics, Station 8. And in Station 9 from Yarra Rangers, Hamish DeWitt. They're your 9 starters, heat 1 of 3, men's under 2,800 metres. Top 2 to go through automatically next to best times. So Kotranamisi is in the centre lanes, looking to push forward as he does. Alice going well early. I expect Broden Bond to be in the picture early on as well. Doesn't mind getting out hard, but is Dylan Gillespie also moving forward nicely. Now Kotranamisi edges forward. I think he's taking Pratt with him at the moment, and it might be Oliver Pratt as they settle through, not stupidly fast as they go through, about 29 seconds through the opening 200. So that's a good pace, and it's keeping the field pretty much together. So Pratt leads it. Bond sitting there on the rails, not bad position for Broden Bond. Alice just a little bit back off him. Taller figures of Scholes Robertson just sitting out the back at the moment, but Kotranamisi just sitting in a good position there alongside Pratt. Riley, don't know much about him from Western A's, but he's sitting in good place there. But now we see Scholes Robertson go forward. Gillespie chases. So 61 slow first lap, actually. So these guys, given there's 3 heats, you want to be in those top 2 or else this could be cutthroat. They're really starting to push it home now. We're seeing the cream rising to the crop to a certain degree. Bond into second position as Kotranamisi leads it. Alice is very willing. He's having a good season, Jack Alice. Alongside Scholes Robertson, they know they need that top 2 position to be guaranteed, because that 61 opening lap really isn't doing them any favours whatsoever. So Kotranamisi just getting the stride pattern moving beautifully. Broden Bond, love how gutsy this one is. He will just sit there in the heel. So Scholes Robertson and Alice, they've got a job to do, because the 2 in front are quality 800 metre runners, and I don't think they're going to give up. And we're just seeing the quality there of Kotranamisi. Goes up a couple of gears and he just eases back now. So Kotranamisi and Broden Bond, they're through automatically. Scholes Robertson will have to wait on time, and then I think the rest might be out. Alice in next. Riley also, Pratt, then Gillespie. Next one through will be Shuttleworth, and then rounding out the field will be DeWitt from Yarra Rangers. Winning time 1:58.31 there, Wolfgang Kotranamisi, heat 1 of 3. Heat 2 of 3, the men's under 2800 metres, and we have in Station 1 from Athletics Essendon, Oliver Burns. Malachi Backer from Melbourne University lines up in 2. Station 3 from the Glen Huntly Athletic Club, it is Liam Michelle. In 4 from Albury Athletics, Toby Walker. Evander Scott Athletics Chilwell, Station 5. Next to him in 6 we have from Knox, Harvey Anderson. And then James Paffroff from Old Melburnians in 7, and Alex Link from Ivanhoe in 8. They're your 8 starters. The 2 of 3 men's under 2800. So once again, top 2 to go through. We're looking for Evander Scott to probably avoid any trouble here. He's running very well over the 1500, so good to see him stepping down to the 8 and see what sort of toe he's got here. But gee, very competitive early as Paffroff decides he wants a piece of the action. In fact, virtually all of them want a piece of the action, but as they settle, Paffroff has got it. Seeing a good push through there from Backer from Melbourne University in the blue T-shirt. Scott's just gone to the outside now. Michelle just being spat out to the back of that pack at the moment. Walker from Albury also in the mix. And now we're seeing the Essendon runner there in Burns just edging his way forward as the pace comes off. So the Knox runner there is Harvey Anderson. So he's one to be respected as well. As Evander Scott just lets Paffroff just do a bit of the leading there on the inside rail. Has a look around as they come down, but they're all virtually in at Link, also in good position as they go through in 59. So 158.31 was the opening heat. So these boys know what they need to do, but they've just got to watch out for that third heat. If you're not in the top 2 in this one, that third heat, if they really put the pressure on, that will be where those fastest times will come from. So Anderson sitting in 3rd position, Link sitting in 4th there. Now we've got the Albury runner in Walker starting to move through. Michelle's now gone past Backer and moving forward as well. But out front, it will be, I'd say, Anderson and Scott. So Scott leading. Paffroff needs to hang in. He needs to hang in for time now, I'd say, because you're seeing Anderson just getting a little bit of a step ahead of him. Big finish here, though, from Walker, so he could come over the top of Paffroff as well. But Scott just controlling out front as he comes into the home straight and starts to settle. So now we've got Walker making a big push forward for Anderson. This could be very interesting, and I think the Albury runner might snag that second qualifier. And it will be Scott, Walker, Anderson and also Paffroff are going to have to wait on times. Then Link through, Michelle in next position, Backer and Burns. So a little bit quicker in that one, 157 low. So 157.06, the official winning time there for Evander Scott. So once again, it really serves it up to these boys in the third heat. They're in a prime position here for the, if you don't make the top 2, the auto qualifiers, a lot of these young men can certainly run a 156. Third and final heat of the men's under 2,800 metres, and in Station 1 from Athletics Chilwell, it is Raj Cambo. Max Quinn from Richmond Harriers is in Station 2. Ryan Gillespie from Mentone in 3. From Box Hill, we have Lachlan Marasco in Station 4. Next to him, Hamish Donoghue from Sandringham in 5. Geno Arce from Knox Athletics in 6. Charles Lay from Chilwell in 7. From Old Scotch, AJ Merry in 8, and Maxim Rikanovic from Mentone in Station 9. So Donohue's sitting in the middle lanes, Marasco to the inside of him, and Assey just to the outside. Donohue will often sit and come home strong, but I think in this heat situation he's quite prepared to go out hard, but so too is Lay from Chilwell. Very impressive, the Lay boys over this season, and he's seeing another good run here from Charles as he goes through the 200 quite sharply in the 26 highs. Assey sitting in third position, not quite having the season he had last year, but it's good to see Geno Assey putting himself out there to try and get into that top two and get the auto qualifier. Marasco just behind him, and then Gillespie. But Lay's leading this beautifully. Donohue doesn't have to do much, so we know how strong he can finish. You watch him for that last 200 metres. Assey moving forward. This is good. Marasco pushing forward as well. They know what they need to do, and they're going through in 55. So this is setting Assey and Marasco up. Even if they don't make top two, they could get those two fastest times. The benefit of being in heat 3. But their legs have got to do it. Their hearts have got to do it as well. But out front, Lay pushing forward. Donohue sitting. We know what he's going to do over the last 200. He's going to make the qualifiers. Assey, can he lift? Has the training been going well? Has he got the goods to get into this final? Be great to see Geno Assey back there. And Marasco just has to hang on for dear life now as they hit the last 200. So Donohue will now edge forward. Just watch him. Lay's done the work so far. Assey's being asked the question now. Donohue doesn't have to do much, actually. He's just got to sit there for the moment because we know he can kick over 50. Lay looks around. Don't get too complacent yet, Charles. You've got a bit of work to do because Geno Assey's coming. So Lay, Donohue, Marasco's strong. So yeah, Geno just doesn't quite have the goods at the moment. Marasco's pushing forward. Lay's going to take it out. Donohue won't puff out a candle with that one. So 156.56. Well done. Assey's an outside chance here. The Richmond runner there, Quinn, don't know much about him, but he was happy with that run. Gillespie, and then we had the Scotch runner there in AJ Merry, and Cambo coming through next. And I think this is Rekanovic from Mentone. He will be bringing home the field here in a very entertaining under 20. Can't wait for this final. So 156.54 there. Charles Lay gets himself into that final. He's taking Donohue with him, and we're going to wait on times. Let's introduce the field now for the first of two preliminary heats for the Women's Open 800 metre Championship of Victoria. In heat number 1, we have 8 starters. In station 1, representing Sandringham, Amber Lowe. Station 2, former Victorian 400 metre hurdle champion, stepping up to the 800s, representing Glen Huntly, Yvette Cordy. Station 3 from Ballarat. She's had such a stellar season and coming through to the track season running so well. In 3 it is Eliza Lapere from Ballarat YCW. In 4 from St Stephen's, Brigitte Humphrey. In 5 she's been setting the track on fire this season. From Glen Huntly it is Sophia Hanlon. In 6 Erica Hungerford announced herself at the last Milers Club, and this girl can run an 800. In 7 also having a massive season, a breakthrough season from Casey Cardinia, it's Brianna Sherry. And from Box Hill in station 8, good to see her back on the track again, Julie Fitt. So So we'll watch for Hanlon to really take this one. Hungerford's a bit of an unknown quantity, that little bit of an X factor, a little bit of history of her over the 800, but she's come into the Victorian scene recently and she ran so well at Milers Club to really establish herself. So a few gaps forming, probably a little bit short here for Lepere. She's probably better over the 15 3K, but we're seeing that fighting spirit of Eliza Lepere as she bridges that gap and takes Humphrey with her. Low in next position and then Cordy next. So out front, let's see who is sorting them out as they come through, and I think Julie Fitt's taken the lead. Haven't seen a lot of Julie this season, so she's stepping into the business end of the season, maybe a little bit underdone, but we'll find out on that second lap as they go through the first 300. So Hanlon now to the outside, sitting in good position. So top 3 to go through, next 2 best times. So it's Fitt, then Sherry. On the rails there, that's Hungerford. Hanlon to the outside. Looks like, unfortunately, Yvette's now out. So low at the rear of the field, Lepere just in front of her. This is going to be quite a strategic race, as we can see Hanlon just doing what she needs to do. She's got the best time out of this group at the moment, and Sherry loves to lead, but has she got the legs over the final 300 as the pace goes down? And it does. And I'd say it's Hungerford and also Hanlon going side by side as they really start to try and get those auto qualifiers. So 200 out, Sophia Hanlon. She's taking Hungerford with her. Looks like Bridge Humphrey's the next one to make the move and try and get that auto qual into the final. So Humphrey made a big move there. And once again, Eliza Lepere just wearing them down. So this is her style. She just doesn't have a great deal of speed, but she will just keep going doggedly. So out front, it is Hanlon and Hungerford. They look pretty safe here. Now for the top 3. I think Humphrey might have the goods unless Lepere comes over the top. So Hanlon and Hungerford just controlling it. Humphrey probably has it. Lepere, gritty, but just on the outside there. Fitt in next position, then Sherry and Low. But great running there. Well controlled out front by both Hanlon and Hungerford. Bridge Humphrey through to the final automatically. Eliza Lepere will have to wait on times. So 2:16, 1:05, official winning time there. So both Hanlon and Hungerford looking good. Humphrey slipping into that 3rd spot. She'll go through. And as we said, Eliza Lepere will have to wait on time as we move forward to our second of the 2 heats for the Women's Open 800. Nine starters, heat 2 of 2 women's open 800 metre heats. Station 1 from Corio, we have Ella Rayson. In 2, representing Glen Huntly, Emma Wadley. Karen Hyder from Mentone lines up in Station 3. Station 4, our Victorian Open 1500 metre champion from Wellington Athletics, it is Rachel O'Brien. In 5, next to her from Maccabi, it's the Israeli international and record holder Shani Landon. Station 6, from Glen Huntly, Jemima Tenekun. In 7, from the VCCL, it is Meg Dean. Station 8, from Melbourne University, Eleanor Benson. And Station 9, from Eaglehawk, Juliet Helia. Okay, good.
On your mark.
So watch for O'Brien and perhaps Landon to set the pace here. Hyder moving well early, and she's trying to go with that pace as she has Rachel O'Brien just to the outside of her. So the Mentone runner edging forward. Landon sitting in third position at the moment as they settle. Tennecoon also going nicely, and also Dean. So the pace coming off, 2:16 being the winning time of that first heat. Eliza Lapierre waiting on times as we see O'Brien now setting the pace through about 32 through the 200. So a decent opening salvo here from O'Brien. So Landon's quite content just to sit back in. I think Dean's to the outside of her. So Meg Dean doesn't mind a crowded race, does a lot of the VCCL or the VAL running. So knows how to weave her way through a field. So Tennecoon now taking an outside run. Benson sitting on the shoulder there of Hyder, who's on the inside rail, then Race and Wadley. So 67 through. So not super quick, and we're just seeing O'Brien just clearing forward. She wants the top three spot, and I think there's no stopping O'Brien. This is similar to what she did in the 1500, just gets out and makes them chase. Now Landon makes her move past Dean. Benson, probably disappointed last week with the 1500. She's going forward. She ran a great mile at Essendon at the Milers Club, and now we're seeing Tennecoon move forward as well. So the New Zealander via Queensland down to Victoria, Glenn Huntley is sitting in fourth position. So around the bend they start to go. O'Brien now has a break of a couple of metres over Landon, who's starting to really stride into it. Tennecoon looking good as she draws alongside Benson and might have the legs here. Tennecoon probably got a little bit more top-end speed than Ali Benson from Melbourne Uni. So round they come into the home straight. So Landon showing a bit of form here. O'Brien really launched out. Tennecoon's run into that third position, and I reckon we'll hold that, but O'Brien will take it. It's going to be a little bit quicker than the first one, I believe. So O'Brien takes it. That's good for Benson. So 2:13, Landon through, Tennecoon through. Good chance for Benson to make it. Dean in next position, then Hayter, Rayson, Wadley. So our pole vaulters are behind the dais, and this is the women's under-20 presentations and medal ceremony. Receiving the bronze medal in a best clearance of 3:05 metres, representing Athletics Chilwell, Rose Morrow. Our silver medalists with a best clearance of 3.35 metres, representing Geelong Guild, Victoria, Pape Silver. And our Victorian champion gold medalist with a best clearance of 3.45 metres, representing Athletics Chilwell, Chantal Gorgolia. Congratulations to Rose, Victoria and Chantal, our medalist in the women's under-20 pole vault. Time now for the first of three preliminary heats for the Men's Open 800 metre Championship of Victoria. In heat number one, we have 10 starters, and they are in station one from Gippsland Athletics, Jack Dodorico. 2 from Box Hill, Durham Diol. Station 3 from Melbourne University, Billy Aston. In 4 from Box Hill, Darcy Pound. Lining up in 5 from Keolis St Bernard's, Mitchell Langbourne. In 6 from Melbourne University, via France, it is Hugo Monia. In 7 from Mornings Peninsula, Jake Stevens. In 8 from Knox, Daniel Malone. Station 9 from Glen Huntly, Ben McShane. And Station 10 from Old Scotch, Lachlan Stewart. Top 2 to go through, and the next 4 best times will proceed. So Langbourne out quite fast early. To the outside of him is Monia. On the inside, it looks like it might be coming across the Billy Aston, the other Melbourne Uni runner, and Darcy Pound just sitting back there. Jake Stevens just to the rear of him. Then I think Aston's in next slot, and then Malone. Dodorico next, then Diol. And then Lachlan Stewart from Scotch. And then the Glen Huntly runner in McShane. So on they come, Mitch Langbourne, not an unfamiliar position for Mitch as he carves out the pace. He doesn't want to get into any trouble. Gee, that was a nice move there from Stevens though. Moving into third behind Monia. Pound's got a little bit of work to do, and Aston's got to go with him. Very brave running there from Daniel Malone. They went through in 54.6 thereabouts. So gap starting to form here. Top 2 to go through. Next 4 fastest times. There will be a final of 10, obviously. So out front, Langbourne doing what he needs to do. Monia's got some pretty good form over the 800s, but so too does Jake Stevens. And those 2 are battling behind Langbourne. Pound, renowned for that kick home over 200, but I think he's got a bit of work to do here because that gap is quite large out front and those guys know what they're doing. But Pound is starting to wind it up, so he could become a player as they come into the home straight. Langbourne's done well here, and Pound actually is now joining the fun. Now it's Stevens kicking forward. Pound's going to do it, I'd say. He's got the momentum over Stevens. Boy, this is his trademark kick. I thought he'd left it too late, but Darcy Pound will take that second position auto behind Langbourne. Stevens and Monia will have to wait for time. Then it will be Aston, Diol in next position, and then McShane just ahead of Dodorico, Malone, and then from Scotch we have Stewart. So about 151.7. Taking the win there, Mitch Langbourne. Great run, Darcy Pound. He will automatically proceed through. So 151.69, the official winning time there for Mitchell Langbourne. But we do have a yellow. We'll wait and see what that's all about. Let's now move to the second of our 3 preliminary heats for the men's open 800 metres. Once again, top 2 to go through and the next 4 best times. 9 starters, and they are in station 1 from Maccabi, Jared Sikowski. In 2 from Mentone, it is Alexander Gibson. Station 3 from Box Hill, it is the former Victorian mile champion, Lachlan Barber. Station 4, representing Glen Huntly, James Hatton. Station 5, the current Victorian mile and 1500 metre champion, it is from Old Zavarians, Riley Bryce. In 6, the reigning champion over 800 metres in Victoria from Geelong Guild, Joshua Perdrissat. In 7, from Melbourne University, Stephen Langdon. Station 8, from Albury, Eric Reimers. And in Station 9, from Mentone, Alexander Ruder. So 9 starters, heat 2 of 3, men's open 800. So Barber in 3. Good start there from Sikowski. Bryce sitting back early, as he tends to do, as we see Perdrissat, the man who's setting the pace. Hatton alongside Barber as they start to settle down. Bryce can't give them too much. Remember, it's top 2 to go through. The Albury runner there in Reimers, don't know a lot about him, but he has put some pretty impressive times up there in Albury recently. But it is Perdrissat just getting out to a very fast start, probably in the 25s, I reckon, as he went through the 200. But that's not unusual for Mr. Perdrissat as he starts to settle it down. Barber and Hatton moving through. Reimers, Bryce, gap then to Gibson. Next position there is Melbourne University's Langdon. Then we have Sikowski and also Ruder. So it's going to be an interesting opening split here. Probably around a 54, I'd say, as they go through. So 54.05. Barber working hard, and he's come along the back of Perdrissat, Hatton. Now we're seeing Bryce make his move. Reimers being tested. Hatton looks like he's got the goods here as he goes down the back straight. You can just see that momentum. Now Bryce just casually moving forward. Perdrissat still doing a lot of the work out front, but Hatton made a very, very good move now. Bryce showing his smarts as he goes into 3rd. Is Barber done with? Potentially, yes, as they just start to run away. So Hatton now starts to clear forward. Top 2 spots are looking like Hatton and Bryce, because I don't think Perdrissat can respond from there. So Hatton, Bryce looking solid here. Now Barber starts to kick forward again. He's got Perdrissat in his sights because they've got to go for times here. So it will be Bryce just edging forward. Hatton knows he's got the spot in the final. So Bryce, Hatton, Perdrissat will have to hold on for time. Then it will be Barber shaking his head. Reimers in next position, then Langdon. Gibson up next, Sikowski and Ruder. So around the 152 mark, a little bit slower than that first heat. So not boding too well there for either Perdrissat or Barber. Beautiful, thanks Bob. 152.02 winning time there. As Riley Bryce, the Vic 15 and mile champion, looks to add another crown to his impressive season here. Let's now go to the presentations once again, and it is for the men's under 18 triple jump with a best distance of 13.28 metres, and representing the Mentone Athletic Club, it is Jeremiah Jeans. In the silver medal position with a best of 13.93 metres, representing Athletics Essendon, Arden Stevens. Now Victorian champion, the gold medalist with a best of 14.09 metres, representing Frankston, Quinn Harvey. Fantastic performances there from Jeremiah, Arden and Quinn to take out the medals in the under 18 men's triple jump. So last event on the track for the evening. It is the third and final heat of the men's open 800 metres. And it's fantastic to welcome back into Lakeside Stadium in Station 1, former Victorian and Australian champion, I believe, representing the VCCL. It is Alex Rowe. Station 2, representing Box Hill, James Taranto. Station 3 from Sandringham, Bailey Morell. In 4 from Oldsavarians, John Kuol. Station 5, he's loving it in Victoria. He's back again from Tasmania, Alex Hannigan. Station 6 from Glen Huntly, Matthew Goff. Station 7 from Mentone, Thomas Hughes. In 8 from Oldsavarians, Dan Gibney. And in 9 from Melbourne University, Finley Baker. They're your 9 starters in the third and final heat of the men's open 800. So probably one of our more even heats here. I'd be watching for Goff to set a bit of pace. I think Hannigan also will be quite willing. Kuol doesn't mind getting out fast early, and we love those white shorts on the Oldsavarians uniform. So as they settle, Kuol moving forward. I think it might be Hannigan to the outside of him is setting up the lead. He's been using Victorian races to really establish himself at the top tier of the 800 metre in Australia at the moment. And it's great to have Alex Hannigan back into these heats. So Goff now sitting pretty in that second position. So I think Matty Goff's just going to sit there for a little while. Doesn't need to do a lot of the work. Top 2 to go through automatically, and I think Goff has definitely got that finish to really establish that position. So Hannigan's got to try and run the legs off them. So do some of the others. Taranto's going to the outside. He's going to try and shake it up because the pace went off. Hannigan goes with him. Goff's in the middle. On the inside of him is Bailey Morell. Then a little bit of gap to the Hughes from Mentone. So now it's getting more willing, and we're seeing Hannigan showing that flair and that style that he's got. Morell, Kuol. Haven't seen him produce his best this season, but are we going to see it here today as John Kuol really starts to move down that back straight? Has he got the final 200? We're going to find out soon. Goff's not in the position I thought he might be, so he's sitting in 4th position with Taranto just behind him. And it's Hannigan, once again, showing good form as he goes round the top bend last time. So Hannigan's going to lead them through. Morell's about to be passed by Goff. Goff's going to have Kuol in his sights, and I think he might take him. But into the home straight, looks like Hannigan's done what he needs to. Goff's just going to edge forward, but Kuol's going to make a fight of this. Goff's got to lift again. Hannigan's through safely. He's going to get the qualifier. Goff has shown his class and come through. Big finish from Taranto. Time's not super quick. Taranto will take 3rd over Kuol. Morell in next position. Then Rowe comes through. Gibney. Also, Hughes from Mentone, and then from Melbourne Uni, Baker will round out our field, and that will conclude the men's open 800 metres. So just keep refreshing the results hub button, and let's see who proceeds through to the final of the men's open 800s. And I would just like to thank everyone who has helped out tonight, our club helpers, our Victorian officials, AV staff. Been a sensational night here. And congratulations to all the competing athletes, competing in great spirit here tonight. And once again, we'll welcome everyone back here. 9:30 tomorrow morning, we'll kick off the action.